Hi, good morning. Thanks, Christine. Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a good week. Like Christine said, we're running a little bit of a skeleton crew on the call with a lot of folks off enjoying spring break as they should be. And I think we've got a lot of attendees that are doing the same, which is a good thing. So I hope you guys are all having a good week. We'll do our best to answer the questions today with the folks on the executive team that we do have here. Just please bear with us if there are some questions that are asked either in the chat or in the pre-submitted questions that we can't get to. We will certainly do our best when some of those subject matter experts return to make sure that we get you an answer for the question that you guys have asked. So looking forward to today, and we're ready to get started. I'll kick it back to Christine. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner. We will start with these questions that were pre-submitted, and the first one being, the recently enacted American Rescue Plan includes an HCBS specific FMAP increase, an additional 10% FMAP from April 1, 2021 to March 31st, 2022 is available to be used to strengthen and expand access to home and community-based services, HCBS. What plans are being made on how those funds can be utilized to improve services for Tennesseans with disabilities? Andy, will you answer that question, please?
Yeah, thanks, Christine, and good morning, everybody. So the FMAP is the Federal Medical Assistance Percentage, also known as the federal match. So we are in discussions with TennCare on what that will look like for the state of Tennessee and those with disabilities that we support. There are some options, one of which is that we've seen an increase in utilization over the last year or so, so that additional percentage could help us absorb some of that utilization cost. And then the other option obviously would be to increase some specific services for that set amount of time. But those are the two areas that we're looking at right now. Don't have a specific plan quite as of yet, but we should have that within the next few weeks. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you, Andy. And just a reminder to everyone, if you have questions, please submit them in the chat and we will get to them as soon as we can. Okay, next question. If a provider participated in the REM training pilot in January, is our management team still required to take the REM alignment executive and management staff training in Relias? We were told that participating in the pilot would be considered our training. We just want to make sure that hasn't changed. Teresa, can you answer that question, please?
Sure. To answer this question, I think first I need to clarify that there are two separate trainings we're talking about here. If you're part of the pilot program, your staff would have already gone in and taken the reportable event form training that is in Relias, or we've already taken that training in person that's in Relias. So they do not need to retake that training. The other training is an alignment video that's on the REM webpage. It's an additional training to the reportable event form training. They have similar information, but the alignment video goes into more detail about the overall system and is separate from their reportable event form. So that training still needs to be done if it has not been taken.
Okay, and while you're on, Teresa, we also just had a question for an update on REM alignment. So can you update on the timelines and progress in the REM training components?
Sure. I just spoke about the alignment video that is on the REM website for executive staff and management. That is accessible and that can be taken now. The REM alignment training for direct care staff, which is another video on the web, that will be accessible on April 1st. As well as the reportable event form training via Relias will be available on April 1st. And you will acknowledge in Relias that you took the video training or that you watched the video on the REM website when you go in to take that reportable event training. Provider event management training will be available on 4/15 via Relias. And we are still planning on having a family and person supported training forum. And that material is still being developed. And as soon as it's complete, we will schedule that as well. And also just a reminder, we are still holding bi-weekly REM WebExes with my team, as well as members from TennCare and a representative from each of the MCOs. So all of these types of questions are answered during that WebEx, but we also put all the questions on the REM page from the WebEx under frequently asked questions, and they're dated per the WebEx. So a lot of the questions can be answered there as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. Okay, I'll give you a break here, Teresa, and go to Kim for the question. As we roll out our startup plan for people supported to increase their time in the community, we need some clarification on how homebound services can continue to be used and billed. If a person supported wants to go out for less than 2 hours each day, are we permitted to bill homebound services for each of those days? Kim Black, can you please respond?
Yes. Good morning. I would say, and I'm going to have Teresa jump in here as well, but I'm not prepared to answer this question today. I think I need more clarification on this question.
Okay. Well, while we have you, can you answer their question? Have we any further guidance from anywhere on resuming more normal day services?
Yes, on resuming day services, we do, even though we are offering that homebound option, we do have, people have the ability to continue to go out and build community participation and use the wraparound benefit for time spent at home. So, you know, if folks do want to get out, the option is available. You don't have to use the homebound option. And so we just ask that you use those social distancing guidelines and, you know, be safe about it. But those community participation options are still out there.
Great. Thank you, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question. It was noted in Open Line that free conference call services are non-HIPAA compliant. However, it also states that a conference line with numbers that don't change is HIPAA compliant. We have a free conference line where the number stays the same, a different number for each user, and has an access code for added security. Would this fall under HIPAA compliant or HIPAA non-compliant? Teresa, back to you. Can you help us answer that question?
Yes, thanks, Christine. First, I want to say that we're trying to be as HIPAA compliant as we can be always. And it's been somewhat confusing in this new environment with some of the restrictions being lifted or waived right now as far as using electronic means to hold meetings. So we don't always know the answers to these questions. So we asked our wonderful STS team here if they could look into some of these conference lines. And they directly spoke with Free Conference Call, freeconferencecall.com. Those are two separate conference call companies, and they both stated they are not HIPAA compliant. So if you're using one of those as your free conference line, then they are not HIPAA compliant. So we recommend you find another way to hold those calls. If you're using another vendor or another company for your free conference calls, then what I can say to you is please reach out to them and ask them if they are HIPAA compliant. There are a lot of new companies that have popped up while we've been in the COVID world that we're in right now with all of the working from home and holding virtual type meetings. So you're going to have to check with them directly. I would say that we did check with these two, which are the two biggest, and they are not HIPAA compliant. So I would say if you do speak with another company and they say they are, that you would ask them to send you documentation of showing how they're HIPAA compliant just to protect yourselves. But that's pretty much what I can tell you right now is that those two are not, and you would need to follow up directly with any other companies you might use to ask them. Thanks.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, next question is, will someone update on the movement of the integration planning? And when are the next meetings for the Partners in Innovation? And can someone say what the agenda will be? Commissioner, can you take both of those questions, please?
Yeah, thanks, Christine. Good questions. Obviously, Jordan is out this week, so I could get a more definitive answer around the integration, but the integration process is moving forward very smoothly. There are constant meetings that are happening both internally and externally around that, one of those being the Partners in Innovation. Partners in Innovation right now meets every other Friday or every third Friday relative to what we're doing as it relates to innovation and technology and some of the things that obviously we want to incorporate into that. A neat side note to that is we actually had a meeting last week with the state of Michigan. They got wind of what Tennessee was doing with technology and person-centered practices around that and independence, community living, et cetera. And we had a really good meeting with New York that was led by Harold Sloves and Jordan. I was able to participate. They had members of the governor's office, Governor Cuomo's office, that were there, and they had a lot of their leadership from their similar department to what we have here with DIDD. So integration is moving forward. Those meetings with Partners in Innovation are still happening. I don't know if the next meeting is this Friday or not, with Jordan and a few other key stakeholders being out, but those meetings are continuing to happen, and we'll get a confirmation for you on when that next meeting is going to happen for the POI or PII. Thanks, Christine.
Great, thank you, Commissioner. All right, we are out of the pre-submitted questions. So we don't have any questions in the chat box right now, but I'll give it just a couple seconds rather, to see if any questions pop up before we head out for the day. All right. Oh, Milton put in the chat, and I'll just read out for everybody, that the next meeting for Partners in Innovation was rescheduled for Friday, March 26th from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, Milton. All right, I don't think there are going to be any more questions in the chat. So, well, we just had one pop up. Can you give more information about the REM video online? Beverly was also not able to locate the video either. Is there something else we need to do to go get it? Teresa, can you help with that question?
It looks like Michelle Bagby just provided the link. Thank you, Michelle. But it is available on the website. The one for, again, executive staff and management is available right now. The one for direct care will be accessible, on April 1st. So if you're trying to find the management one, it is there. But if you're trying to find the one for your staff, it is not. We will put something, Beverly, let me know if you still can't access it. And if it seems to be a problem still, let me know, and we'll put something in open line on Friday that will provide a direct way to get there to try to provide assistance to you all. And I'll tell you when you reach out to me, Beverly. I won't make you wait till Friday. Thanks.
Okay. It looks like in the chat there's a couple people who can't find the video on the page, so we will have to, we can put something out in the open line, like you said.
Yeah, we can, and I will go check that as well now that I'm seeing it. Last time I checked it, it was, but I will go check for sure.
Michelle clarified that the recorded presentations are under additional resources at the following link.
Right, that's a different, those are the bi-weekly meetings I was telling you about. I will go check, and if for some reason it's no longer there, I will, I'll get with John McLaren, who is very quick, and get it right back out there. And I apologize if for some reason it is no longer there. Oh, John just received, the link is under additional resources. So John's even quicker than I thought, Christine. So there's, appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, that looks like the end of the questions in the chat box. So we'll go ahead and send it over to Commissioner Turner to end the meeting for today. Commissioner?
Yeah, thanks, Christine. Again, thank you everyone for your questions today. Again, for those that we were not able to answer due to subject matter experts not being here, we'll certainly make sure to get you some answers. But again, thanks to John McLaren and others for putting those links in there. I know REM is a big conversation point right now, and appreciate you guys' patience as we're navigating that. Teresa and her team are doing a really good job around that, and we want to make sure we're doing that too. So again, when we meet next week, looking forward to your questions. If you do have some questions in the interim, please reach out to us, and we'll be happy to try to answer them and provide some extra directions. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you, Commissioner. Everybody have a good week. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and we will see you again next Wednesday. Bye.